A plus, cream of the crop. It is a great trade. And now 600 contracts. I don't know how much money that is, but it is a huge position. And I'm in front of it, so I'm scared. He weaseled me out of my damn position, guys. What is up, traders? What's up? Got a little trade review for you here. Did 187.50 on the combine. Today was we had a bit more volatility than we have the last couple of days, and to be honest, it was a bit of a struggle to remain consistent. And if we kind of look, we had a lot of trades that were really close together, a little bit of over trading today. My emotions were 100% intact. I was very in control of the way that I was feeling and approaching the market, but I was a bit eager to trade, and that's more so apparent upon review. But let's go ahead, jump into the first trade. Okay, so I'm looking to get short here because we do have some sellers start to sell at market. Looking to get short with that large size here up at 56. And this was a relatively quick trade. If you blink, you'll miss it. Yeah, looking to take this off at 52. A quicker trade because, if we remember from the last trade review, we talked about how I need to be quicker with my executions on the 1 minute time frame, and I'm biting off more than I can chew on the smaller time frame. So I'm just trying to take it off at the lows here of this micro range. Overall, a really good trade. Very straightforward, just get short with a bunch of sell pressure here. The order flow looked good. I don't have my heat map pulled up. I'll probably have to, adjust this format. But for the time being, just based off this execution chart, overall a pretty good trade. Let's take a look at the next one. Alrighty, we're back. So this is the next trade. This appears to be a rejection of these highs, and we had some nice selling off of these highs. I don't recall the context from a auction perspective, but from an order flow perspective, if we go back, alrighty. So from an order flow perspective, we know that we've got some demand in this area. All right, in between these two yellow lines, and we're starting to see some supply hit the market, and so I'm kind of thinking, maybe we have a breakout play to the downside, and we try to fill this open area where there's a lack of supply / demand. And so that's kind of what I'm playing for. And also, if we come over to the depth of market at these 54s here, we've got a nice offer sitting there waiting to be filled, corresponding with our price with this 203 seller. So I'm trying to get filled up here at these 54s. So let's see how this works out. And I'm going to play this, let you guys hear my thought process as I'm navigating this trade here. 56. Gotta sweep this liquidity to the downside. I want to see good selling. I'm gonna take one off at the 51. So I'm moving that stop closer to break even if we can. So I'm targeting this demand. And it's important to note that I'm in a really good position here because we have 111 sellers hitting the bid and only 3 willing to lift offer, which is a very bearish sign. So if price does come up and test this area, I would want to see this hold as near-term resistance to keep my trade in my direction. So we see a bid come in, a large bid here at 49, and I do see that. But they pull it. Now I'm starting to see some demand, so I take it off. I immediately take it off as soon as I see that demand start to enter the market. Now I am kind of a pansy because objectively this still is a pretty bearish market. But, you know, I'm still working out of that hole, and, you know, you can't go broke taking profits. We go over to TRADECRAFT Journal, and we do everything we gotta do to track our statistics. Code Sean, 5% off. Anyways, next trade. Alrighty, so the next trade here is really a blunder on my part. This is a blunder. I know we can't see, but higher time frame, we're just in a range, and we just bounced off this range low, and we have a nice up bar. And you know, we're coming into some open shorts, and so I'm trying to play the short, but there's just not enough here, and you know, we're just going straight up. We bounced off these lows, and, you know, I really shouldn't be looking to short anything, considering that, you know, we're just bouncing in a range. So I'm going to take this short and pretty much immediately get stopped out. We do have a large bid there, and they're sweeping me out. I'm trying to get one off break even. And then they just go and tag me for the stop out there. So all in all, I'd give that trade a D+. A D+ trade. You know, the context, it's just I didn't have much confluence. You know, I was just, you know, it was a mistake. It wasn't a great trade. You know, I know better, and I should be doing better. I should be taking better trades. But anyways, you know, what can I do to prevent that? I just need to be analyzing the narrative of the market. Like when we're in a range and we bounce off that low, really try to refrain from taking those shorts, because, you know, when we're range bound, you know, the chances that we mean revert or go back into the middle of the range is a very high probability. And those type of trades they're going to suffer in a range environment. So I feel like that was more of a continuation short play. And, you know, I didn't really know what the trade was going into it. I was just, you know, throwing shit at a wall, hoping it'll stick. Okay, so here's the next trade, and let me paint a picture for you. This red box, I don't know if you guys watched the last video, but I kind of talked about the 5-minute time frame edge zone imbalance order flow play that I typically do, and how it has a very high win rate. This was one of those times. So I knew that this was a very high probability trade. And, you know, looking back, I probably should have sized up. I mean, look at all these checks in my favor. I mean, we're trending up. We've got it's a bullish to bearish moment as well, which also has a very high win rate for me, and you guys don't understand what that is yet, but I'll make a video about it. But if we also come over to the book, we have 111 orders at bid waiting to be filled for the long side. So I'm also trying to get long with these this large bidder. So this is a longer trade, so I'll kind of skip through it. But here I am, I'm filled. So I really want to see this whole zone, this red box. I want to see this red box hold. And this entire setup I'm looking at on a different chart, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on the 1 minute or the 2000 tick. It doesn't really paint the whole picture. But I do know that I'm trying to target the highs, and this is a higher risk-reward setup. So let's go ahead, fast forward here. Let's see what happened. So the price is starting to go in my favor a bit. We're having a nice flush to the upside, having some good demand come in. All right, so here's that 5-minute time frame that I was talking about. So we had this supply, and I'll go ahead and get the tool for us here. All right, so we had this obvious supply, and here the market rejected it once. It was a big flush down. What is this? I can't tell how many points that is, but it's a lot. It's a big flush until we came in and met demand here, and we had that nice buy up, back up into the highs. Now I'm starting to see that, you know, we're having closes above that, and we're starting to see a lot of aggression from the longs up above this previous supply here, and I'll draw supply right here. So I'm looking to get long in the same area where people are getting trapped short. So me getting long here, and my entry is probably somewhere around here, you're going to have a lot of shorts scrambling to get out of their positions when there's also going to be a lot of new longs opening their positions, and those shorts that are getting out of their positions because they're underwater now, because we're starting to see acceptance above this previous supply, and we're starting to flip into demand. So instead of what was once supply now is turning into demand. So all of these people that were bearish at this level, they're getting out of their shorts. And when you're a seller and you want to get out of your position, in order to get out of your position, you have to buy back your contracts, ultimately making you another buyer. So generating more upside volume for this trade here. And the idea is to target this previous supply zone here. So we're looking to fill this entire black area here. You can look at that as like a gap. I'll make a video about that eventually. Alrighty, so we're still fast forwarding a little bit. You know, we came back down into that red box, and we were immediately met with a lot of buyers. And it looks like I took the whole trade off already. Oh, okay. So we're coming up into this supply, and as we can see here on the offer, what do we see? We see a huge seller waiting to get filled directly on top of this supply. So that kind of spooked me out of my position. So I got out just at these highs for, what is this, roughly 5 points, 4.5 points ish. Alrighty, so next trade here, we have a rejection of these highs, and this yellow line is a higher time frame high that I marked out on, I believe, the 30-minute. And so as you can see, we just poked above that 30-minute high, and now we're starting to see that sellers are stepping back in. As you can see, this 352 contract traded on the bid relative to only 8 on the ask. So I'm looking to get filled with these sellers, and then potentially once again close this gap, because typically what you see a lot of times, at least in productive volatility, if we trap out these longs and you get a short here, what you'll see in the next move is the fill of this gap, and that's exactly what we're kind of playing for. So let's see how that works. Alright, so I'm short here at the 68.50, and it's immediately going in my favor. This is a really nice momentumous trade. Typically we'd be looking to take it off at this demand here. So it's coming back and testing me a little bit. Alright, so I fast forwarded it a little bit. Down here at the 68.50, this is good. Alright, so this was a nice moment. We had a nice break of these of this range here, and we closed just at these lows. And we've also got this 294 seller. They're hitting the bid and only 25 willing to lift offers. So I'm trying to leverage this. I could even move my stop just above this seller, because if price starts to trap out this seller, then I don't really want any part of it anymore. and then the trade would be off for me. So I don't remember exactly what happens here, but let's find out. Alright, so I just took the trade off there. I'm almost certain I could get my fill. I don't know why I'm panicking out. And this is a problem that I have. Let's look at this a little bit closer here. Yeah, I don't know why I got out. I really just panic sold. And as you can see, I mean, this was a beautiful trade. This is A+ for me. I mean, look at we take this entry here, and like I said, you know, exactly how I mentioned, we're gonna go back, and you can picture this. These are called gap fills, and you know, price creates this gap between the most recent demand and then the most recent supply. You find a reason to either be bearish or bullish, and in this case, it's bearish. We take the short here, and then we play the gap fill down to the next area of demand. And you know, that's exactly what we got. I took it off a little bit premature, but nonetheless, a very good trade. Alright, so this last trade that we're going to look at is A+, cream of the crop. It is a great trade. I unfortunately get shaken out of it because of this order that just sent me for a loop, and I'll play the audio so you can hear my thoughts. But I was in this trade for quite some time. It was a B2B moment, which is just a brief explanation of what a B2B moment is. If you guys were paying good attention, that 5-minute supply zone that we had was this red box, right? And you can see here we supported it again, came up, but now we're starting to close and we're rejecting this red box. And this is a higher time frame setup. So what the B2B moment and what it stands for is bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish. So we were bullish here. Now it's flipping into a bearish scenario. So one of my favorite trade setups is playing those bullish to bearish setups because they have really great risk reward. So let's go ahead and look at what this is. So I really want to just be short inside this red box. And so I'm about to add another on. See, this was real close. It came so close to stopping me out. I really got lucky on this. But I did stick around. I'm still in it. I take one off because I do know that it looks like it's going to roll me over. Eventually I do scale back into it, but you know, I sit through quite a bit here. Got some demand, but I'm not taking it off because I know that this is a high time frame A+ setup. So I'm really trying to push this sucker. So we came down, tested the lows, and I'm trying to, you know, look for reasons to stay in this. And I mean, we see large offers stepping in if you look at the ladder there. But immediately we see a huge run up, a lot of momentum. But eventually we're going to see a very large bid on the order book that's going to shake your boy out. I saw this bid and it instilled the fear of the trading gods on me. I was terrified of what this bid, what it meant. I didn't know what it meant, and you know, it shook me out. So let's see what happens. Alright, so also at this point I've added another 2 contracts, so I'm short, so I'm sizing into this position because I'm very convicted in it. I know that it's an A+ setup, so I'm really trying to push on this trade to generate some good P&L and work myself out of this damn hole. So we're gonna see what happens, but yeah, I'm short 3 contracts in this red box. Still seeing great selling, but pay attention to the book. And so I just added that 3rd contract. I'm gonna take some off at demand here. All right, so pause. My cursor is literally on this bid because I immediately see it. I immediately see this bid paying high prices up at the 60. Look, it's tested my entry. We're on my entry. And now 600 contracts. I don't know how much money that is. but it is a huge position. It's a huge position just being dumped in the market. And I'm in front of it, so I'm scared. So immediately I'm thinking, oh my God, what do I do? I need to get out. I hesitate. You'll hear me hesitate.
God. 600 bid?
They all get filled. There's enough sellers here. So we see when a large bid like this, we had enough supply to fill that order. I mean, that is a relatively bearish situation, but on the flip side, you also have buyers willing to pay these higher prices. Look at relative to the lows. Look at how the prices that we're paying. 600 lots up at these highs. But at the same time, think about how much supply it takes to actually fill those orders, and we filled it like that. So, you know, all of these thoughts I'm trying to calculate and, you know, compute in my brain, but everything is just telling me to get out, because now you can see we have, even on the order flow, some demand, and, you know, we've kind of been holding this demand, and, you know, we're seeing higher highs. And we're also like 4 or 5 minutes out from the close, or, you know, there's that surge at 250 where you just see the DOM. So that's also in the back of my mind. So immediately I'm trying to get out for that break even. I see it, you know, I'm like, I don't want none of this. It's an A+ setup, but, you know, I need to get out. So I take a tick loss. And then you're going to see immediately as soon as I get filled for that tick loss, goes in my favor.
600 bid? Where the fuck did that come from?
You know, I'm kind of raging a bit. So I go over to the TRADECRAFT journal, you know, put in all of my tags. You know, I'm tagging, it was, what was it? Come on, tag your trade, buddy. It was a B2B moment, edge zone, and we had... So it was one of my best tags, the edge zone, that order flow imbalance, that B2B moment, also another one of my best tags, 5 minute, great tag, and then we also had an entry on the 1 minute. So all great tags, code Sean, 5% off. But let's watch what happens.
Damn, dude, that 60 short, man, it just looked so good. It looked so good, man. That gap fill down to 48. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next minute maybe they sweep out these highs at 62, and I wouldn't be surprised if they dump it down to 48. This 60-61 area for short just looks too good. It's a nice B2B moment. We've got open sellers, trapped longs.
All right, so I know you guys couldn't see because I didn't have my charts pulled up, but look at where we're trading. Down at the 41s. In my initial thought process, we were going to come and test the 48s, and I do believe this red box is the 48s. So I had said that this 60 short looks amazing to the downside. We're probably going to 48s, and so that was my end goal for that trade, was to take this trade off at these 48s. But I just wanted to show you that just to kind of show, you know, how easily one thing in the market can just shake you out of your whole position. And what it took was a large bid to show up at these highs right at my freaking entry, and just I was like, all right, I folded. I basically folded my cards. I had pocket aces. I was holding pocket aces. You know, it's like you're holding pocket aces, and then you flop, trip queens. You got a full house. It's right there on the board, and then, you know, someone, you know, bets, they go all in. I have a full house, one of the best hands, unless they have like a royal flush or something ridiculous. I should go all in with that guy. But here's a testament to trading. He weaseled me out of my damn position, you guys. And I folded my freaking full house. And sometimes that's what it is. That's what happens, and then, you know, you beat yourself up at the end of the day. But I'm really not beating myself up. It is what it is. And, you know, the best we can do is just learn from this. We had good trade setups today. And, you know, we'll be seeing, more setups tomorrow. There's always opportunity in these markets. But anyways, that's about it. If you guys are interested in Quantower, that's the platform that I'm using. If you see me using all these order flow tools and you're curious and want to know how it works, I have a link in the description for Quantower. You can get 15% off. And then also, if you like the TRADECRAFT journal and you want to find Edge real time, click the link in the description. Code Sean, 5% off. By the way, the Quantower code is code number 1 Furu. But anyways, link in the description. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching. See ya.